Hello, everyone. So, even though the United Kingdom royal family continues to wine and dine Trump, something that I do not approve of, and Trump has already violated several articles of the royal visit protocol, by the way. So, but this is good news. Ukraine has ratified a historic partnership with the UK. So, this works, and what I'm hoping is that this works regardless of UK's relationship with the United States and regardless of Ukraine's relationship with the United States, which, in case you haven't noticed, hasn't been great lately because of Trump's inconsistent, let's use a polite word, inconsistent stance on Putin. Now, here's the thing I would like to point out. Back in the fall of 2013, not this exact agreement, but it's a similar agreement to the one that Ukraine was trying to pull together with the European Union. And that was, as I mentioned before, when Russia interfered, being concerned about Ukraine supporting pro-European philosophy and pro-European way of life, and interfered, disrupted the deal. And then, of course, we had historic events that followed, such as Maidan, the unseating of pro-Russian Yanukovych, and so on and so forth. So this is very important. And the fact that Ukraine was able today, despite being in the state of war, to wrap up a big trade and diplomatic deal like that is very telling. Because this is exactly what Ukraine has always wanted to do. It wanted to have collaborations of its own choosing. It wanted to have agreements of its own choosing and participate in the global arena as a sovereign state without anybody telling them what to do. Bad news. We have some black smoke near the Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant. This is not a good thing. So this has always been a dangerous proposition. And again, the International Atomic Energy Agency is freaking out. My question to them is, what do you expect Ukraine to do? The place is occupied by Russians. It's their responsibility. Ukrainians asked them to just give it back because you can't exactly fight there safely, as you yourself have pointed out. So, what do you suggest? It wasn't Ukrainians who refused to confirm the observation of security and maintenance protocols. It wasn't the Ukrainians who put landmines all over the fucking place. What do you suggest? Provide a specific step-by-step plan instead of clutching at your pearls and expressing serious concern. Because right now, this is useless. Now, the partisan group Atesh continues to work within Russia, sabotaging, in this case, railway infrastructure. And this is, again, this is ways away from the border. So 1,600 kilometers is about 1,000 miles. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers, roughly. So, and while it was founded by somebody from Ukraine. I'm sure there are more than Ukrainians in that group. So they have been working hard, basically doing whatever they can get to. Now, here's the thing. Remember I told you that when it comes to Russia's infrastructure, Russia's industrial complex, there is a lot of Soviet residue in there. Okay? That means bribery. That means cutting corners. That means theft. That means embezzlement of funds. So it doesn't surprise me that, for example, somebody was able to get in, set fire to a relay cabinet of a major railway hub and get out of there. And we are talking one of Russia's fourth largest city and the regional center of Sverdlovsk region. And so this impairs, again, Russia's ability to move ammunition, armored vehicles, troops, supplies, fuel, etc. Now, this is a fascinating story. So there are multiple sources covering this. I am using Ukrainian source because it has the most details. A gentleman from Kenya has been captured in Ukraine after he deserted from the Russian army and crossed over until he found Ukrainian troops, at which point he surrendered. So what is up with that? Apparently, like so many foreign nationals, he was lured to Russia with the promise of work. This was all arranged, and then his passport and phone were taken away, and he was threatened unless he signed a contract with the Russian army. He was given a week of basic training and then shipped off to the Ukrainian front. So, realizing that he has been duped and taken advantage of, he did the smartest thing. He fled as soon as he could and went to find the Ukrainian troops. My question to other countries, including specifically African nations, many of whom support Russia, are you okay with Russia doing this to your people? Using them as cannon fodder? You all right with that? There is a conversation right now about potentially 2 big offensives coming up. It's very possible that one of them will be against my native region of Zaporizhzhya. Russians want that bad. They want Zaporizhzhya back. And as of right now, Ukrainian military leadership is keeping its, cards close to their vest, so to speak, and they should. They should not give out any specifics about what they know and what they plan to do about it. Now, this is another series of operations by Russia against Ukrainian railway system. So what is the difference? So far, Ukraine, once again, has been trying as hard as possible to only hit portions of the Russian railway that were used for military purposes. They also have been trying to carry out acts of sabotage that would not harm civilians. Russia, no such luck. Right now, as there is a possibility of 2 more major offensives, Russia realizes that there will be reliance on the railroads to evacuate people from the danger zones, and that is why they're targeting those. More to come.